Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today it's a day in the life of a crazy chicken lady. We're going to go ahead and prepare the chicken coop for winter. There's a couple of things that you need to get in order. The first thing is making sure that the area where your chickens are going to be spending a lot of time this winter season is clean and organized. So I am basically removing all of the old bedding, straw, pine shavings, you name it, inside the coop and hen houses, and I'm giving it a good cleaning because I don't do this in the winter time at all. Pretty much I do the deep litter method, which we'll talk about here throughout the video, so stay tuned and keep following along through this crazy day. Right now it's pretty mild here where I live. There are some cooler days and there are some warmer days. When the sun comes out, it's a little bit warmer, and when the sun goes down, it's a little bit cooler. So you'll see me in different attire, and it can kind of give you an ideal of the temperature, how it's changed throughout the day. So as I'm scooping everything out of the chicken coop, the girls are on pasture, so they pretty much go anywhere they want to in the area that is gated on my property. So the girls, what that means is they can come and go throughout the daylight time, but in the evening I do lock them up in the hen houses and in the chicken run and coop area. I am giving all the nesting boxes a good clean as well. I have a few of my girls coming to check to make sure I'm doing a good job. Once that is all cleaned out, I'm going to put in fresh pine shavings and straw. And the reason I put straw in, it gives it a little bit of warmth in the coop in the winter time, which is nice because I don't use any supplemental light. Now, when the temperatures are blistering and out of the ordinary, I do put some heat in the coop, but that's only when the temperatures are very, very, very extreme. Okay, so as I am preparing the nesting boxes, I'm putting pine shavings in there. And as you notice, there's these little pads that I put in there. I had to cut them down to size and place them in the chicken coop. And once I did that, I topped it with some straw and some pine shavings. My girls didn't like the rough texture, but this particular nesting pad brand is from a company called Roosty's, and I'll link it below. Some of these pads fit perfect in the nesting boxes, and then others I had to cut down with just a pair of scissors. And then when I did that, I placed some pine shavings and some straw over it to give it some extra cushion and love and nice comfort to my chickens. And this is to help keep them drier, and they're easy to clean. So basically when they get a little soiled or dirty, I can pull them out and wash them with a little bit of soap and water. And Charlotte, as you just seen, one of my hens is interested, so that's a good thing. I've been using them for a bit now, and it seems to be that everyone's laying great now. It did take a little bit of an adjustment, so I did have some eggs production go down a little bit, but overall it is much better. So I'm replacing everything, like I said, with new bedding. And once all of that is done, I'm going to clean the bottom of the runs and give that all a fresh rake through, and then we are going to winterize the coop as a whole and insulate it so we can protect the girls from any wind and the elements of this winter season. I'm in the north, so with that being said, I'm going to line the whole chicken coop with plastic sheeting. There will be proper ventilation, so there's no moisture that will build up in the coop, because moisture and wind causes frostbite and upper respiratory infections in my hens. So I don't want that to happen. So I want to make the area as dry and draft free as possible. Now, this option may not be the best option for you and your chickens, but I did this method last year and found great success. It cut down the wind in my area where my girls rest in the evening, and it kept, for the most part, everything dry. And last year's weather conditions in my cold winter months were cold and windy. We didn't have a whole lot of snow last year, but we did have a lot of wind and bitter cold temperatures. So I'm trying the same method. I'm keeping a little lip of the plastic, as you can see on the bottom, and staking them down so that I can gather any water and debris and snow on top so it doesn't go up underneath the run. And I like using the clear plastic because there's light that's able to get in, so the girls don't get a little off a little bit, so they notice when it's daylight and darkness. So I like that too. My girls, like I said, they pretty much are pasture raised when it's daylight, and when it is dark, they go in for the night and whatnot. So I want to make sure they're snug as a bug inside their house and whatnot. And in the daytime, they have opportunities for shelter to get away from a snowstorm, an ice storm, rain, anything like that. So make sure your livestock does have options to protect themselves and places to not get into trouble or mischief. They're just like small children. So, and that's the biggest thing, is just making sure everything is dry and moisture free. I am using, like I said earlier in the video, the deep litter method. So basically what that is, it's like a composting of their manure. So what I do is I clean the coop on the surface of any debris, such as chicken poop and other things like that. And I rotate it in and apply fresh bedding on top. And I just keep doing that cycle all winter long. And then when we have our spring and the weather breaks, I give the coop a nice deep clean for the summertime, and I eliminate a lot of that. So there's not any heat that is developed in the coop, because in the summer here, it's warm, and I don't want my coop to be warm in the evenings. I want it to be nice and cool for them with a nice breeze so they're able to have a comfortable evening. Actually putting a type of deodorizer and moisture absorber in the bottom of the coop. This is actually something they use in horse stalls, and I found it to be really helpful in my coop in the winter. So I'm sprinkling a little bit in both of the chicken houses just to kind of absorb some of the moisture, keep it dry, and keep that ammonia smell out of the coop. I find this just wonderful. So, and I'm putting the straw and the pine shavings on top of that, and then I will just sprinkle it sporadically throughout the winter months. The next thing I wanted to show you is this heating panel. This is what I use in the winter to keep the coop just a tiny bit warm when the temperatures are frigid and out of the ordinary. And as you can see, the girls are super excited. They're chasing me all over and trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next. They're crazy. Are you guys waiting for something? Hi, ladies. What you doing? Hey, pretty girl. Hey, pretty girls. Hey, mama. Hi, mama. I got your curtains. I got you all ready for winter. I just gotta get some straw. And then we's all good. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing is cleaning out water dishes, and I got this handy dandy water dish from that company, Roosty. Again, I will link them below, and I like it because it's got these little elevated feet so you can adjust it with the growth of your hens. And then I found that the plastic ones aren't as helpful in the winter, so I have the stainless steel one because I'm able to put it on the heating pad to keep it warm and prevent it from freezing. I'm making sure all the dishes are clean and the girls have nice fresh water. You want to make sure this happens every single day. You want to make sure they have enough feed. Here is again this Roosty feeder that I'm using. You want to make sure all of this is stocked because the girls do eat a lot in the winter. That's how they keep a little warm. And I keep several feeders, and I like to keep this Roosty one, I like to keep off the ground. It's nice because when there's snow and ice and debris that comes in the winter months, it's going to keep it elevated so they're just not, it's not getting in the dishes, so making the food wet or moist or anything like that. Oh, Thor. Hi, lady. Oop. Okay, last but not least, in my chicken coop, I like to add curtains to all of the windows. These window curtains are not form-fitting, they're loose-fitting. I especially like to put it in the north end because it blocks any draft and wind that may come in on the north end. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm stapling up these curtains with the staple gun, and they're not form-fitting, so there's able for some airflow and things like that, but it breaks up the draft. So now for the fun part, the treats. I love to give treats to my chickens in the winter. It gives them an extra boost of calcium and protein, but it also, some of the treats can break up some of the boredom between the girls. So this can be heads of cabbage, pumpkin, mealworms, cracked corn. It takes them long time to digest, so it keeps them warm. So that's what I'm doing here. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And I hope you guys enjoyed and love stopping by the farmhouse. And I'll talk to you real soon.